Hello everyone, welcome back to E20 Zone TV late night after hours edition. I thought I'd do a little video. Chuck your comments in. I've got a bottle of Jack, I've got some Coke. I'm gonna do an hour set. Let me know what you're saying out there in the world. Before I get started, please do smash a like on the video, subscribe to E20 Zone TV, hit notification bell and all of that. I'm going to start off with a bit of a sour note for me personally. My nan is not too well at the minute, and she's just uh, gone back into hospital, and she's not too great. So this video I'm going to dedicate to her tonight. I hope she gets well soon, sooner rather than later, mate. Do you know what I mean? Because family's everything to me, and yeah, I'm just going to say that on that. So Nan, get well soon. Um, right, it's been a bit of a mad 24 hours. I'm gonna be honest. I really do mean that. It's been an absolute mental one. I've seen the YouTube beef. I'm gonna have my little say on it. And this, put your comments in. Put your comments into it. Well, this is your night tonight. I read them out. I go through them. Any trolls come in tonight, you know how I work. I will roast you and then bin you, and it is what it is. But the YouTube game is a fickle old game, mate. You got people that like other channels, dislike people, and all that. I get it myself. People dislike me, the way I come across. My sort of attitude is now is I've built a little community on E20, and anyone who doesn't like it knows where the door is at the end of the day. Do you know what I'm saying? And I ain't gonna really worry about it. Obviously the situation with that, and I see Nikki do like a apology sort of video. People are just in a situation currently right now where they're at each other's throats to a point, but they're aiming their anger at the wrong person. All right, and this is where my anger has come from for years, and this is why I've been emotional on here. I've been upset. I've been angry. I've been to a point where I want to fucking completely lose it. Do you know what I'm saying? Um, what it is people want to get this owner out the door, and the owner at the club at the minute is really, really under pressure, and it is a beautiful sight, people. And I have been saying it. Anyone who's followed this channel for a long time is if you expose this fucker in the media, yeah, he won't last 5 minutes. And he's got his bird, his 44-year-old bird, to do the work for him, and it ain't going down too well. So, you know, it has been a bit of a polarizing sort of 72 hours in regards to West Ham, yeah, and everything. But you have seen the good, and then you've seen the not so good, right? One thing I'm going to say is when it comes to protests, is if someone doesn't go to a protest, fine. Yeah, in my opinion, it's fine. What I've got a problem is anyone who backs Sullivan. That's where my problem is. Right. If you don't want to go to the protest and you got kids and you got families and things like that, I can sort of understand it. You don't want to like put your kid in an environment where he's gonna might feel uncomfortable. Like, listen, my nephew has got autism, and at the end of the day, I don't think a situation like that would do anyone any favors if you've got a young child who's autistic or anything like that. So, I can understand it. I can understand it if people want to just sort of not get in that situation. What I have got a problem with is anyone who sort of defends Sullivan to the point. I've had a few people say it to me, right, come at me about Sullivan, and I've sort of given them the fucking answers, and that's what you got. That's what I've got to deal with as much as any other YouTuber. Do you know what I mean? When you put your face in front of the camera, you're lining yourself up for people to come out and have a go at you. It all depends on how you handle it. And I don't know, with me over the last sort of year, I've sort of just gone, I just don't really give a shit. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, it has been a bit of has been a bit of a mental one. Now, I've sort of stayed out of the YouTube stuff. I've just sort of watched it from both sides, and it's quite, I ain't gonna say it's heartbreaking, but it was upsetting for me because I was like you're arguing over the wrong thing. Like, you both care about the club in your own way, Nikki, Gonzo. Now, people, I've met Nikki. Yeah, I've been to events that Nikki's done. I think Nikki's all right. I really do. Like, and someone put something on my comment section earlier, saying, oh, he's this, he's that. And I said, well, honestly, mate, like, I ain't going to criticize the geezer because I've met him about 2 or 3 times in my life. He's always been polite to me. And if he's respectful to me, then I don't see what how I can knock him. Do you know what I'm saying? I've never met Gonzo, but I like Gonzo, right? I think he comes across in a completely different way, right? He's a bit sort of different to some people. Like he might not show the passion, but he does care about this club. And I just felt like they was just arguing over the same thing. And it's a shame, really. No one should be digging anyone out, especially in this situation, right? With this situation right now, it's all about attack, 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 over the top. Let's get rid of fucking Sullivan, right? And it will work. It will work. I'm telling you, it 100% will work because look at the reaction, right? That has happened once. And this protest was big-ish. But wait until more people start going over. Wait till more people turn up and go, no, this ain't right. And they start turning over. Do you know what I'm saying? It will work. It 100% will work. And I've got every faith in it because I've been calling this for ages. If we all come together, if we all say it on YouTube, on radio, on TV, and shout out Dan Lawless, I'm going to get to him in a minute. But, you know, everything, right, then it will work. There are wankers out there, though, right? And there are some proper fucking wankers out there, especially on X, who have been digging out Dan Lawless. And I had to defend him, mate. And listen, me and Dan have had our fucking differences, man. And I know Dan. Take away from YouTube, I know like family members of his and school people that I know, yeah. So me and Dan is a bit different. Do I agree with Dan on everything he says? Absolutely not. Some things in the past I've gone, no, I'm not agreeing with it. Yeah, I will stand by it. And I'm a bit of a stubborn bastard, mate. Yeah, I will stand by my own opinion. But one thing I will say about that kid, what he's done recently, it's been absolutely flawless. I mean, it's been absolutely exactly what we need. And something Mark said last night on the Have Your Say video I done, right? Absolute superb. No one's going on there making themselves look like a mug, right? They really ain't. And do you know what? If I ever got the opportunity, I'd probably decline it because I wouldn't want to make this fan base look a mug. And I wouldn't want to make myself look like one either. I think Gary's doing his thing. I don't really speak to Gary, if I'm being honest, but it is what it is. Um, Dan's doing his thing. I see Alex, who does TikTok, he's doing his thing. Everyone's doing their moments and getting their points across, but they're doing it very articulate. And that is the way that you're going to get through it. Yeah. And look at the damage that it's done, right, to Sullivan over the last sort of like few days. Do you know what I mean? He's got his bird. He's got his fucking bird, right? Going on social media and trying to defend him. Like, this is just the beginning. Just think about what this will be like in 3 months' time if you're relentless over and over again. If we're relentless, we will win. And I am so calm about this, mate. I really am because it is mad. I will say that. Right, let's get to your comments. Let's have a look, see what you're saying. Right, we'll fly through them. Liam says, hope your nan gets well. Nice one, Liam, mate. I really do appreciate it, mate. So does Jack. Hammer's 98, 89. Fucking hell, I've got to learn to read, mate. I think it would help. Feel your pain, mate. Lost my granddad 3 weeks ago. Yeah, mate. I'm going to remain sort of focused, but in my heart, it's like I'm a little bit concerned because I'm going to be honest. It's the last one. Like we have my nan and granddad have passed on. My granddad's passed on, and it's sort of um my nan is the final sort of piece of the sort of history, and it goes to my mum and dad then, and like and life just comes and takes you over, doesn't it, mate? Do you know what I mean? Shout out to my boy Lucas. Hope you're well, mate. Do you know what I mean, Lucas? If you want to come on, man, you know where we're at. Do you know what I mean? Just come on. There he goes. Hi, James. Send your love to Nan for a speedy recovery, and my thoughts to you and your family, Dean. Yeah, nice one, mate. I really appreciate it, man. Right, let's get down the bottom here. Let's have a look. Let's see what James has got to say out in Cyprus. Fuck me, James. It's like 2 o'clock in the morning, man. What are you doing at this time of night? Whole thing divides opinion, but at least Nicky was big enough to apologise. Yeah, listen, man. At the end of the day, he's done it. It's done. We move on. Everyone needs just to focus firmly on David Sullivan, mate. That's all it is. And that's all I'm doing. I don't care about no one. I don't care if anyone likes me or not. I don't give a shit. Right? My sole purpose right now is to make as much content as I humanly can, and pump it out, get people on, just keep pumping, pumping, pumping until this fucker is gone. And he will go. He will. Do you know what I'm saying? There's no doubt about it. See what Frankie James has got to say. It's amazing how many arguments I had lately with my Moyes inmates. All these seasons of bad football make some fans look at him with rose tinted glasses on. But the rot did start under Moyes. I'm going to disagree with you there, Frankie. Yeah, I'll tell you the reason why. Moyes left, right, and I used to have many arguments. Like, listen, me and Nick used to go at it big time, right, from Claret and Booze. But Moyes left. The moment it went wrong at West Ham is the appointment of Julian Lopetegui, and we've got to put that into context. We have to put that into context at the end of the day, right? People wanted Moyes out. Yeah, I always said on this channel, I always said, remember who runs this club. That's all I kept saying. I wasn't buying Tim Steiden's going to pick the manager. Just wasn't buying that shit, yeah, because Sullivan runs the show at West Ham, and I wasn't going to be gaslit into believing something that was never going to happen in the first place, yeah. But that's where it went wrong, and that we are suffering that because of that going wrong. Do you know what I'm saying? In that situation, which this is the situation we're currently in right now. Now, I will get to Potter and sort of Billage and who's going to be next in a little while in the video, but this is not a David Moyes problem. This is the taking David Moyes out and then replacing him with a manager that was completely out of his depth, and then replacing him with a manager who's completely hasn't got a fucking idea. Do you know what I mean? How can we pick two managers who haven't got an idea on how to set up and how to do things? That's the problem. Do you know what I'm saying? Dan and Gary are doing great jobs in the media. Yeah, I completely agree, mate. James, sorry to hear about your nan. Wish her a speedy recovery. Nice one, mate. Do you know what I mean? Right. Vinny Bones. Shout out to Vinny. Big up you, James. Hope your nan is well, mate. Yeah, she'll be all right, man. I believe. I really do. Did you see the Al Capone pic? He does the gangster friends, you know, long fella, right? Don't know what you're on about, James. No ID, mate. No ID. Shout out to Warren. Thank you very much, mate, for your 50 Aussie dollars. Good morning from Australia, mate. Do you know what, mate? It is cold and winter is fast approaching, and then there's Warren in Oz, mate. Do you know what I mean? Who would want to be in Oz right now? So there you go. Let's have a look what we've got. You got horrible seeing channels having gripes. We're all West Ham. What's said is said. Move on. Yep, completely agree, mate. Sorry, I missed the beginning of anything. Go back and watch it, James. It's fine, mate. Let's have a look. The moment it went wrong is when the Biscuit Baron lost all his money on the stock exchange and GSB took over. Yeah, you can probably say that. You can probably say that, mate, if I'm being truthfully honest. Well, just look at the damage. Just look at the damage. What's currently happening right now to them? Yeah, they're getting it in the media. Everyone they're having on is all Sullivan out people, and then before you know where you are, you're going to have a narrative, and that's the best way of getting out someone, a dictator, is turning the media around on them, and that's what's happening right now, which is good. Everyone's doing their bit. You know what I mean? I don't fault fucking no one, mate, at the minute, because I've been calling for this for years. If everyone sticks together and gets stuck in and really goes to town on Sullivan in a way, it will work. It will work because he's fucking at it already. Do you know what I mean? He hasn't got nowhere to run there, Sullivan. That's the problem. He's got nowhere to run. He's got no one to blame other than himself. And the only problem I have right now with him is if he goes and sacks Potter and he brings a new manager in for that Brentford game, is he going to try and divide the fan base in that? Because you have people who are going to be boycotting, you have people that want to go to the game. You know, it's going to be like if you boycott the game, right, people are going to say, oh, well, you're not a real fan and all this shit, right? He knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing. He's done it so many fucking times, mate. You can read him at a book. So, you know, it is what it is. We need to stick together. let us take our anger out on the biggest threat our club. I completely agree. If anyone wants to come on, by all means, you can come on, man. Rest in peace, Dickie Bird. Yeah, I know, mate. Another one gone. Do you know what, mate? So many people I know passed on. Passed on. Like I see something the other day. Someone, obviously that Matt Beard. Obviously RIP to him. Right, and somebody, someone else said something to me the other day. No friend of mine, but it was just talking amongst mates, and one of my mates, his mate, sadly took his own life and all. It's getting rife at the minute. I mean, like social media and everything. It's deep. It is deep, and you just got to be you got to be strong. And I'm going to be straight. I've been in that situation before where things have got on top of me, and I've been close to the edge, man. I won't deny it, and I'm not afraid to admit it. I got close to the edge, but I had people that pulled me back just in time before I went over the edge. Do you know what I'm saying? And yeah, listen, my 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 thing I always say is funny enough, what my granddad used to say to me: a problem shared, it's a problem halved. And that stuck with me. Yeah, so you know what I mean. If you've got a problem, speak about it. Do you know what I mean? It's nothing that can't be sorted out over a period of time. So yeah, I will get James on in a minute. He's it looks like he's in the dark, James. You know what I mean? As you don't pay clubs to bring in managers to your club, I'm going to get Eddie Howe when he was unemployed. Completely agree. Let's hear what James is. James, what you saying, mate?
Yeah, sorry, it is dark. I'm sitting here in bed watching this like fucking late. Yeah. Right, what I was saying to you, see the what I was saying about the Al Capone thing.
Yeah,
Sullivan's bird posted a picture of him up on or posted a picture on Instagram of Al Capone saying, "This is my David," right? And what I was saying is he is connected to some gangsters. I don't know whether you know, but
yeah, I know.
down in Dagenham Dock is a fucking skipyard that belongs to a family that have got claret and blue skips here. I don't want to name them, but the geezer they call the geezer the long fella. Yeah. That if you want to know, if you don't know who that is, look it
I,
up
I,
and
I,
you'll
I
find out.
I know exactly who it is because my dad used to go to the gym and knows exactly who he is.
Yeah,
And
yeah. I mean,
his
they're very
initials are
dangerous.
DH. Let's put it like that.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, they're very dangerous people. Yeah, I've known them for years, like for 30 years. Very dangerous people, but I'm not sure they're going to step out, fucking do anything to help someone like David Sullivan, in a situation like this. So his bird gang, yeah, like he's connected to gangsters or whatever. He's just, she looks like a fucking transformer anyway. I don't know whether you've seen her, but she does. Anyway,
I must
that's what.
listen. James, I've got to say this. Yeah, Trojans just killed me off, mate. Right, and you do look like something out the Queen, Joe with the Queen song, Bohemian Rhapsody, right?
Yeah, yeah. Do you know what it is? I'm sitting in bed. My old woman's talking to the kids on Facebook, right? So,
Yeah,
so I thought, oh fuck it. I said, I'm coming in here. I'm gonna watch, but I just didn't want to turn the light on. I'm too much of
nah,
a
that's all
lazy
right, mate.
cunt.
That's all right. I mean,
But
you can
but
break out into song if you want, son. Go on.
yeah, I see a little silhouette of a man.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
what I was gonna say,
Listen, that's no fucking copyright, YouTube. So don't fucking copyright me, mate. Honestly, I mean it. Go on, Jeff.
so, yeah, what I was going to say was about Saturday, right? You know the game. Did you watch the game on Saturday?
Yeah, I suffered it. Yeah,
Right. Right, like, I did as well, right? I just want to say, like, because this is really mad, right? There was a point, the left back, is it Diouf, whatever his
yeah.
name is? Right. Anyway, right, he gives the ball to his right to James Ward-Prowse, right? In the midfield, he gave the ball to him and he fucking ran down the wing, went past Crystal Palace's player, whoever was playing on their right hand side, and got himself into some space where he could receive the ball back. What do you reckon James Ward-Prowse did?
Passed it backwards. Passed
He
it
passed
backwards.
it backwards to Kilman.
I know,
The
mate.
whole move just died.
Oh, mate,
Then
listen, right, Dave Higgins, mate. Whoever you are, Dave Higgins, mate. I think you've copped it tonight. They've just said that you're the game master. Driven the game master on Channel 4 back in the day.
yeah,
Absolute classic, yeah. You've got what's the other one? You've got Holly from Red Wolf, which is coming. I mean,
Yeah, it looks like a hologram. But no,
Oh,
no, like
go
listen,
on, mate.
I'm just making the point. Like like the things that are going on, like the protests and all that. All good. I hate to see everyone turn on each other, like Nikki and all that. I know Nikki's apologised for whatever, but like you
Yeah,
know, you have got to have a little bit of unity in this situation because, like you just said, Dan Lawless was brilliant on Talksport. I watch it all. I ain't got fuck all to do. I'm retired. You know
yeah.
what I mean? I'll sit and listen to all everything.
What did you
So like,
make, James? Let me ask you. What did you make of Lawless? Because I'm going to be honest. I thought he handled the situation. He's probably the best. It's probably the best interview I've ever seen from a West Ham YouTuber who sort of put his points across, didn't lose his sort of bottle
yeah,
or anything like that.
he did absolutely fantastic because what he did was what was really clever. He preempted what Simon Jordan was going to say by
Yeah,
answering the question before he got the chance to say it, and that kind of killed Jordan's his
momentum.
flow that he normally gets into, and he
Mm,
also stopped Jim White in his tracks, which is not an easy thing to do because, as we all know, Jim White is a massive supporter of Sullivan.
mm.
So
True.
but yeah, Dan Lawless was absolutely brilliant, and I congratulate him. Like they what was the show they kicked him off of for saying crap? He said
Oh,
crap on it.
Sky Sports. Listen, I'm looking at the comments, right, James? Yeah, people say, "I was saying,
Well,
are you under the bed? Are you what is it? Are you a hostage?"
yeah, I'm the new Terry Waite. Al Qaeda have got me. I'm, I'm,
100%. What do you, before I let you go, James? Yeah. What do
gone.
you make of Potter? Do you reckon he'll last the Everton game or not?
Well, it looks like he's gonna. I mean, look, right, you got to be totally honest and
Hmm.
say, like, tactically, since that Aston Villa game where he first took over in the cup game, tactically he's not. I thought he was going to be really good, but then I never really used to take a lot of notice of him at Brighton and Chelsea. To be fair, I only really concentrate on West Ham. Um, but tactically, he seems a bit of a fucking idiot. I mean, listen, why would you continue to play the slowest player in James Ward-Prowse? I mean, I know the other kid, whatever his name is, Akuna Matata came on and like he weren't looking no great shape. But like he's only a young man.
True.
Why not give Freddie Potts a chance? Someone who can run a little bit faster. It just seems bizarre, James. It seems like he's trying to get himself back so he can cop another load of goals.
It's more than likely, mate. I'm not gonna lie. It's probably more than
I'll
likely.
tell you one thing, just before I do go, one thing I do want to say. Like, I don't know whether it's just me, but I've had this conspiracy theory running around in my head right for a while, and I said it to you before, so I'm going to say it again. I think that they're trying to send the club down so that Sullivan can mop up all the gold share, like for cheap. Because at the moment, if he buys them, he's got to buy them at the same rate that Patinsky paid for his shares. But if the club
True.
goes bad, he can sweep them shares up for a song, and then he owns a greater percentage of the club. Because
Yeah.
at some point, like the LDC are gonna sell him the ground. They're gonna practically give it away because they're losing so much of
One thing I'm gonna say,
money.
yeah. Right, I was going to say
Well,
this, yeah. I agree with what you're saying about nothing would surprise me with Sullivan, right? In regards of like, you know, um, are you echoing now? Fucking hell! I was just about to say something. You're echoing on me,
oh, sorry. It's probably the fact we have to have fans on over here. You know, it's still in the 80s at fucking 2 o'clock in the morning.
right? What I was going to say is this, yeah. Quickly, I I agree with you. Wouldn't surprise me if there's a conspiracy theory. Also, some of the comments saying that saying what you are right now are absolutely brilliant. Some of them said that you're the moon, and what's the other one? You're lost in the dark. So there you go. James, gonna let you
Yeah,
go.
listen. Do you know what? If you all want to chip in a few quid, I'll turn the lights on because I'm a bit skint this month.
Yeah, okay, 100%, mate.
Anyway, James, listen, I just wanted to call in quickly. I am in bed, actually, people. So
Lee,
it's all good. But I'll speak to you soon. Good luck. Great show. Give him a
no, worries.
like, guys, and share the video around for him.
No worries at all, James. Take it easy, man. That is James. Look, see, you got people that are fully committed to have their say, even in bed at late at night. So there you go. I must admit, using the chat, bastards, mate, bastards, because I could see the comments and some of them were classics. I'm just going to go through the. It got. There was that one. Where was the other one? The Ring. Yeah, I've seen that one. And what was the other one that actually? Oh, that's the one. Steve Tilly. James looks like the baby from the Teletubbies. Joe, what? I was thinking it. Yeah, I was just about to say it, and then you put the fucking comment in. I was like, oh, Steve, you just done me to that one. But yeah, listen, help a man out. You know what I'm saying? There you go. Right, that's been him. Obviously, listen, with Potter, I'm going to speak about a bit of football now, because it seems like all we're speaking about is stuff that's happening off the pitch. I don't think Potter's going. I see something today where someone was saying that Potter's going to be leaving this week, apparently. I don't see it. Not at all. I do believe that he will be gone probably after the Arsenal game. The question is, who comes in for him? That's the $1 million question. Like, who's the man who's going to replace him? Now, it looks like it ain't going to be Nuno straight away, because Nuno's going to wait and see what other offers he gets. Could Question for everyone is, could you deal with a Slaven Village again? Like, for me, if we get Slaven Village, it's over, mate. In my honest opinion, it's just completely over. Richard B is saying he ain't leaving this year, pal. I think he leaves. I think he leaves sooner rather than later, mate. Because Sullivan will use it to his advantage. And Liam's has said something now, which I don't like. I'm gonna pull it up, yeah, because Liam's right in what he's saying, yeah. It's this. Rafa Benitez, as your owners have chased him in the past, and he wants to come back and manage in the big leagues. That would be West Ham down to fucking T, mate. That would. Let's see what Scott's got to say. I hope Nuno, but I feel it'll be Village. But I think we get relegated. Honestly, nothing would surprise me if we got relegated this year. For me, we can't have Slav, because basically what you're going to do is you're going to ruin the man's reputation. You're going to ruin the man. Right? And what would the contract be on that? That's another thing, right? What would the contract be? Are you just going to give it to him to the end of the season? Are you going to give him an 18-month deal or an option? Like, I don't even know what the contract would be. So, you know, but if Potter goes and gets a draw against Everton, is he going to get the sack? Right, let's have a look. What else we got here? Chuck your comments, anything you like. He's quite harsh, and they are low on confidence and prima donnas. They certainly are, mate. I think it's the team that's the problem, rather than the manager. I think you got a team with 3 different styles of player in it. You got Moyes' players in there. You've got obviously Lopetegui's, and now you got a few players of Potter's. It's like a jumbled up fucking team, isn't it? You know what I'm saying? I'd love Joachim Low as a director of football and Terzi as manager. Never under this mob though. Yeah, it's true, mate. Let's get to Terry Ball. Hope you're well, Terry, wherever you are, mate. Potter will go if we lose the next 2, so then Sullivan can play the media game over to the boycott, spin it. We're not supporting the team. Completely agree with you, mate. Completely and utterly agree with that. I think that's what he's lining up, if I'm being honest. I just don't see it any other way. That's what he's going to do. Would you bring Di Canio with Noble on a short-term deal? Well, the problem is what's your poison? What is it that you want out of this season? Now, for me personally, I want West Ham to stay up. Yeah, I don't want to see West Ham get relegated. I've seen people saying, well, if West Ham go down, it is what it is. I don't want to see it. Right? Do you know what I mean? If West Ham go down, I think it ruins us deep down. People have had this argument that you get all the old school fans back in there. You won't while Sullivan's in charge. Do you know what I mean? No one's going to go to West Ham in the Championship, right, when Sullivan's in charge of his club. Sullivan's the problem at this club. And what it is, he's the one that you got to target first before anything. Now, there was a rumour last night that Brady was on the way out at the club, right, next year. And whoever's pumping these rumours, it's usually Coombe, who's like, knees up, mother brown, right? It's usually them who's pumping out this narrative every single time. People leaving, Slav, who's the other one? Gary O'Neill. Like Gary O'Neill. Fucking hell, is this how far we've dropped? Do you know what I'm saying? It's not good, mate. It's not looking good, lads. I'm not going to say. And the issue is Sullivan will stay if we go down. I don't think he does, though, Irons, mate. If you want me to be honest, I I think if this ramps up to a level, now I've seen a couple of ideas that they're doing. They're going to do a sit-in against Newcastle. They're going to do a protest again against Burnley. I think it is. These protests will ramp up every time. Yeah, and eventually the brand's going to get it. What they're trying to do, if I take my train ticket out, is basically they're going to ramp up this so the brand starts to get hit by West Ham, and then West Ham start losing money, and then Sullivan's going to start having to think about it. Then, do you know what I mean? Because if the club starts losing money, and a lot of it ain't just him who's the overall owner. There's a few others in there, like Kadinsky's in there. Like, what does Kadinsky say? Well, something's got to give here because I'm losing money. Do you know what I mean? And these are money people. If their brand starts getting it, then that's what the problem is. Let's get down to it, which should be. I'm actually because I thought it was Martin O'Neill. I can do you remember that? I couldn't agree more with you, Jamie. We can't go down at this point in a time of disaster, for epic proportions. If we go down, mate, it's over. Simple as that. We're in the mud. I don't. I value West Ham a bit different to other people. I look at us from like I like to be proud of my club. Like, do you know what I'm saying? And I've seen West Ham in the Championship. I remember doing that slog back in 2011, 2012 season up at Blackpool, fucking Preston, fucking all over the gaff. Yeah, all up north. Done it. So I understand it. It doesn't mean to say that I want to see West Ham go down to that sort of era. And you know what? It can happen to us. Because look at Leicester. 10 years ago, Leicester won the league. And they won the league. They won the FA Cup. And look at them now. They're a nothing club at the minute. They're going nowhere. Rather than they're floating around in the Championship, but they're not. They used to be quite a stable Premier League side. And the thing is with us, we might have the ground, but I don't think we've got the owner to enforce and stability. Do you know what I'm saying? It's a worry. It really is. Where's my hero, Mitch? Phil, I'd love to know who you are, mate, because you love him, don't you? uh, to buy uh, to buy Sullivan out, what percentage would it have to buy him to get him out? I think it's like 33.8% if I remember rightly. Something along them lines. That's what I think it is. I might be wrong, but even if he's not the majority shareholder, that'd be a start. Do you know what I mean? We've got to force his hand, right? Gold shares really need to go to someone else, like other than him. So, I don't believe that about showing people around the training ground and all that crap and all. There's another load of old shit they come out with every now and then. I fear we would struggle if we went down. No, we'd be about top 10 side. Do you know what I'm saying? We were sold by Ashley for 350 mil. How much does Sullivan value West Ham? Well, people reckon West Ham's worth 1 billion. Fucking, I'd love to know what Canton they're gone to. Fucking no chance, a billion. Absolute no chance at all. Um, how much will I value West Ham at? I'd say about between 4.5 and 6 in that bracket. It's gonna be somewhere along there. Jack's saying there it's 800 mil. Strong, isn't it? But see, I went on a show the other day on the West Ham Massive. Yeah, there was a bit of a debate show. There was me, Nick from Claret and Booze, Gatesy, a few other, and there's a few other lads there, and we sort of just we discussed about the stadium, and me and Nick had differences of opinion. I think they're trying to get their hands on that stadium in order to sell the club, right? Nick's saying, well, no, they're not, because basically it's run on 5 million a year. If they own it, it's going to cost them 10 million a year to do all the stuff, all the works to it. So I can sort of get the argument, but West Ham are worth fuck all at the minute, really, other than a naming right. Do you know what I'm saying? And honestly, when I went down to Upton Park like the other week, honestly, mate, that was heartbreaking. Going down there doing doing them videos. I've done 2 videos, done the same route twice, and speaking to people and all, like winning the Queens, and that was just a bit of a surreal moment. Like going back in there, like, yeah, it's just sad. It's just sad, isn't it? You know what I'm saying? Rush Green is worth about £200. This is embarrassing. It is, mate. It is. It really is. Let's have a look. No stadium is the issue. The value in it as they own the stadium. Yeah, I know, Jack. Fucking hell. What else we got? If your owners value West Ham at a billion, can I have their dealer's number? Fucking hell, they must have some sort of drugs, mate. Do you know what I'm saying? Um, right, let's have a think. Let's have a look what else we can discuss. Right, what did you make? Right, anyone who's on X, I will get to Terry's comment in a minute. What did you all make of West Ham Central versus Sullivan's fucking bird? Right, I don't want to say her name, mate. Uh, like that is probably the greatest showdown ever, right? But it was fucking madness, mate. You got just the raring of it, and I just sat there with my popcorn, just eating it, going, "Yeah, this is great. This is great." I hope she's having a shit night and all that fucking thing. A very empty London Stadium in the Championship and no tourists will start on TV. Sullivan only values in the Prem. He hasn't got a clue about running a club. This is why we need him out. Yeah, but the thing is, the ground will be half empty, though, mate. Do you know what? How can I put it? Because I keep hearing tourist fans, right? And it's a bit of a tricky one with me because Lucas is an American, comes on this platform. He's part of E20. He goes up and down the land with his club. What I've got more of a problem with anything, is not so much people going to West Ham, because a tourist fan could become a fan for the next 50 years. Right, that's not what I've got a problem with. What I've got a problem with is when these people go to games and they don't support the club, and they are just football supporters of another club, Arsenal, Liverpool, Man United, Chelsea. And they get a season ticket to go to West Ham just to watch Premier League football. They're not a supporter. That's what I've got more of a problem with, because I just don't understand it. I think that's you know, you know. Um, right, let's have a look. I see a comment there just a minute ago. Where was it? Oh, Steve Silly. By the way, James, great video you did last week. I did the same video with Jazz about 3 years ago. It's heartbreaking. Yeah. Have been back to Upton Park, and it's sad, James. You're right. Just stood there shaking me. Do you know what, Darren? That's exactly what I did the other week. I got off the train at Upton Park, and I must have caught it at just the worst fucking day possible, right? Um, it was basically like I think it was like I think they had Prayer Friday or something in Upton Park, and it was just mayhem there. So I thought, right, how am I gonna? I can't record this from Upton Park Station and walk down Green Street, because it's not far, but it's about a 5 minute walk before you get to where West Ham used to be. So I thought, fuck it, I just walked down. Then there's a road. I set up there quickly, right on the phone. And when I went round the first time, right, anyone who follows me on TikTok, go and watch the TikTok video, because that's the first time I went round. The second time I sort of knew right what was coming, but the first time when I went round, that was like, yeah, man, especially seeing the supporters club at the back of basically the Bobby Moore stand, basically where the Bobby Moore stand used to be. The sports club used to be at the back there, and I tell you what done me the most on that video, right? And listen, it really did cut me, especially when I done it on TikTok the first time. Was the long live the bowling sort of graffiti. Literally, they're built on the side of the bowling pub. They've brought the pub down. They've knocked that wall down where you had the big sign, long live the bowling. And all you've got is a fucking wall, probably as big as this behind me, right? With the long live the bowling. And then you've got a big fuck off tree. And someone even said to me, why don't you rip the tree out? And I was like, if I start doing that, if someone reports me, I'm gonna get fucking done by the council. Do you know what I'm saying? But yeah, that was a bit heartbreaking. Do you know what I mean? Seeing all that, and yeah, just fucking craziness, man. Let's have a look. That central fella maybe seeing the inside of a courtroom. I've done one of those tweets. Oh, imagine if he gets nicked, mate. That'd be hilarious, wouldn't it? Yeah. Nah, it wasn't that, mate. Yeah, it wasn't that at all. Shout out to Liam. I've been to the London Stadium with Newcastle United. Gutted. I never did it at Upton Park. Yeah, it was a bit of a surreal moment, mate. I'm gonna be real. And when I sort of done the walk, I sort of started reminiscing of all the things. Like when you walk down the Barking Road. So you go down Green Street, go to the end of the road, the bowling's on the left, you got the statue of all the greats in front of you. As you turn left, basically going down to Green Street, and towards basically East End, Barking, that way. There used to be a sports shop on the corner. And when I looked over there, and I remember I was sort of going back to my childhood, because obviously I had a lot of family in East London at the time. And I used to go into that sports shop and buy trainers, and I even used to buy some West Ham stuff in there, because they were selling West Ham stuff in there, right? And the geezer was actually all right. You do you a good deal in there. So yeah, I remember that. And obviously I remember that, the Ladbrokes is still there with the amount of fucking money I used to do over the years. I used to go there. I've been like some of the nights I used to go to a West Ham game, put a bet on, go and watch the game, and then go back and collect the money down at Ladbrokes or whatever it was before. Just surreal, yeah, just surreal moments, mate, if I'm being honest, and things I won't forget. Memories. Simple as that. That mural is ruined. Yeah, I'll be honest with you, mate. It is. And it sort of upset me a little bit, if I'm being honest. I've stood there, especially when I've done it on the TikTok version of the video. When I was there, I was like, this just don't feel right to me. Do you know what I'm saying? Like when I walked round, obviously centre circle, I obviously done West Ham supporters like bit, and obviously you see the big West Ham badge logo with the like the cross hammers and like the castle and everything. And then when I walked around, I walked through like a little bit of like footpath basically, and then when I walked around, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. But then it sort of dawned on me that when this fucking building's new, it has to be new, because I was only down there about 18 months ago. And yeah, it was a bit, it was a bit of a fucking joker, that one. It really was. It really was. My Upton Park ritual, Queens, Ken's Caff, bowling, then the supporters club, great days. I always do a thing whenever I go down there. I always have 2 drinks in 2 pubs, bowling and Queens. And for me, it's like a 15-minute fucking train. You know what I'm saying? I get on the train at Dagenham, Heathway, and I'm literally there in 15 minutes. Do you know what I'm saying? And I come out of there, and mate, on that Friday when I'd done the video, I was smashed. Like it was literally like a party atmosphere, and it was really hot day and all. I was in there having a few bitters, And before I knew where I was like, I think I was about five pints in. I was like, fucking hell, mate, I got to get home. It's only 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I have to go out that night. So, yeah, it was a bit surreal, man. It really was. Um, Great video with your walk around Upton Park, upsetting, but still brings back the memories. Lived down the road as a youngster. Yeah, do you know what, mate? It was Terry. It was a bit of a spare of the moment job for me. I woke up on that Friday and something said to me, just go down to Upton Park, James, right? And I'll be straight with you. I had my phone. I rigged everything up to my phone. I recorded it on my phone. And I just went round and I thought, right, I'm going to try and plan it. But obviously, you got to be fucking careful, especially in London now. You pull your phone out, someone swipes your phone, you're knackered. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're done. So I was a bit on the ball with that. And I was like, no, I saw it. And I felt like it had to be done. And it was like, obviously, you had the protests on the Saturday. And I wasn't doing it just to sort of enrage people, right? I was doing it for a purpose, and the purpose was to sort of remember what they took away. Do you know what I mean? And they did take that. They took a lot away, a hell of a lot away, and that community is not the same. It's dead. It's a dead community. And when I was walking around, I was like where we are now, and 10 years on from moving, is it really worth it? Is it really like, is it really worth moving, getting rid of all your history, going to a gaff that you don't even own, where no one really likes it, and then when I was around there, I was like, it just don't feel right to me. It just feels like I felt cold to it, if that makes sense. So it was a bit mental. Let's have a look. What else we got here? Shout out to John Potter. We get new owners. I want the old badge back with the castle on it. Do you know what, mate? I completely agree. Um, with my logo on E20, I always said I want the cross hammers like on there and sort of like a castle-ish theme. Yeah, it'd never be the same, mate. Never be the same. Let's get to Iron's Disciple. Shout out to you, mate, out in America. I cried to see I cried to see what happened to Upton Park. Those flats go for what, James? Because they ridiculously priced. They are, mate, and they're privately owned and all. What it is, when I bumped into a subscriber, yeah, Victor, he told me something about they had a meeting and they had like a minute to decide what they was going to do. And I think it was with the council or something, saying about like the flats, like you either set this off or you don't, or that's it. And I couldn't really make out what it was, but my mate who I see that night, because it was a Friday I done it, Friday daytime I done it. Friday night I went out and had a beer with one of my mates, West Ham fan. He said, when you was on that video, I know what you was on about. And he sort of explained it to me, and it's something to do with the council or something. I was like, fucking hell, mate. Even then, they was trying to be corrupt. You know what I'm saying? Nothing really changes, does it? Uh, there's talk about us leaving St James's Park. Some fans want the move. Some fans don't. Don't do it. Don't do it, mate. If you move from your spiritual home and you go into a place that is a football stadium, then it might be worth your while. It all depends on what they're offering you. Do you know what I mean? With us, we was gaslit by our owner, and we should have known. We should have known better. Birmingham fans were telling us, saying, "Listen, don't believe it. Yeah, 'cause it's all shit." And one thing with West Ham fans, what I've noticed, is they always want to be proven right. Yeah, and sometimes you've got to be a big enough man to say, "No, listen, this is wrong. We've got to stand by this." And we was just gaslit, simply gaslit into believing something that didn't exist, and it's never going to exist. In 10 years, a lot West Ham should have been miles ahead of where they was 10 years ago, and now it seems like we've gone through. We've had a result in Moyes. Moyes took us on a journey, and then now it's just all disintegrating. Do you know what I mean? Sad. My first game at Upton Park was in 1976. I later worked over there, and the atmosphere was always dynamite. It terrorized the away teams and even scared the shit out of us coppers. I miss those days. Not half, man. James, I'm intrigued to know, did you vote to move or stay? I'm assuming you was for staying 100%, mate. I'll tell you what I done. I think I've said this a few times on this channel. I done the stadium tour 3 months before they was going to move. Right, I think it was in March 2016. Was it March 2016? It was basically the final year of the Boleyn, basically, and I did it. And what it was, I asked Phil Parks. Phil Parks was my tour geezer who takes you around, shows you everything. And I was in the boardroom, funny enough, the boardroom at West Ham, old West Ham, and I asked him straight. I said, "What do you think on this? You've played for the club, you represented us, you know people who are higher up, you've played with ex-players, you know ex-players. What do you reckon?" And he said, "No one wants to move, but we're being told that it's going to progress the club." So it's basically like media spill. And I was always against it. I was always against the idea because I value history and I value like somewhere where, listen, you can build on that and make it bigger, but don't take away 100-year history for a rented accommodation. Just don't do it. Do you know what I mean? But we was dumb. No, tell a lie. That's wrong. Right? I'm going to rephrase that. We wasn't dumb. We was just lied to. That's what it was. People were lied to, and people believed David Sullivan and Karen Brady and Gold. And I'm going to bring in Gold. I am, because Gold's a part of it, and I'll RIP to him, right? And listen, I don't want to speak ill of the dead. I don't, right? But he was part of the situation, and he orchestrated the move and everything. And that's why we're in this situation right now. We've literally got a fight in our hands, right, against this owner. And the only way it's going to work is if we all stick together and get him out the door. Like, we have to get this geezer out the fucking door, because he's just going to pull West Ham apart bit by bit. And it just doesn't feel like West Ham to me. And there's people that I speak to, all right, and there's lads on this channel, Mitchell being one of them, yeah, who fucking love West Ham. I mean, they're better fans than me, right? I love West Ham, don't get me wrong, right? But these lads are better fans than me, right? They go home and away whenever they can, right? They will drop everything and go fucking up north or abroad. Lucas, shout out to that man. He travels fucking 4,000 miles across the fucking Atlantic Ocean, turns up in East London, and he's up north, down south, right? And when West Ham was in Europe, he was fucking getting on planes and going to Europe, right? So they all care about this club. The issue is the owner doesn't. And that's the problem, right? And he's the one he's the geezer who's got the fucking keys. So, I would accept a low player investment if a new owner built a purpose-built stadium. I think it's a given there, Dave. If I'm being real, mate, I think it would have to be that. It would have to be. If a new owner come in, he's going to ask everyone and say, right, listen, what is it? What's the first thing you want out of West Ham currently right now? I think majority of people will say stadium, right? And I don't blame them. Yeah, I can accept 15th for the next 5 years if that stadium gets reconstructed. And if it does, then the fan base will be back. Then West Ham would be a fortress. Then, do you know what I mean? The issue is, I just don't think it will do that anytime soon. What we got? Let's have a look. Let's get down the bottom here. I remember when I wandered into a Zoom meeting with the council when they went to talk about West Ham. They were talking about how the area needed more trees and talked about solar panels for 3 hours. Fucking hell. If we do the move, as long as it is in a similar location like Spurs has done with their stadium, yeah. It's I agree with Jack on that. It is the same ground. It's just been moved. Where the ground was that way, I think they've moved it sideways. But they've done well. Give them that. So let's get down the bottom here. Shout out to Mark. How you doing, Mark? Hope you're well, mate. So, what's this here? DMK listening quietly as a Spurs fan. I love hearing the stories. James's class, to be fair. I took my boys to White Hart Lane. They couldn't even see the new stadium's quality, so it can be done well. Do you know what? I will say this. No, everyone knows that me and Spurs just don't get on, right? I will say that. But one thing I've got to give them credit for, and I have got to give them credit for this, is stadium, training ground facility. And what Levy done with them is exactly what Sullivan isn't doing with us. He's modernised the stadium. He's upgraded the training ground facility, and people want to go to that club because it's an attractive proposition to go there. With West Ham, what the fuck have we got attractive? You know what I mean? Like binoculars and fucking shit pitches. It's not a highlight, is it? Let's be real. Shout out to Dan Launders for taking on Jim Wyatt and Simon Jordan. Done a great job. Jay Woods, I said that earlier, mate. He was superb. Oh, shout out to Keith Knight, £10. Thank you very much, mate. I've been a West Ham fan all my life. Born in Plaistow, 1968. Managers and the ball come and go. We are all here forever. Keep up the fight. We are West Ham United. I completely agree, mate. Completely agree. And there's some people that are not on it, right? They're not fully on it with this protests and all that, which I can understand. Listen, some people just want to go and watch football matches. Fine, right? But you have got to look at this deeper than just football matches, right? And there's people that moan, but then they won't have their opinion and won't go to a protest. And it's like sitting there moaning, but they're not doing nothing about it. I don't understand them people. I'll be honest with you, I really don't. I mean, I'm a moany bastard. Like everyone knows me. I'm a moany bastard. I want what's best for this club, and it ain't just what's best for this club. I want what this club deserves. That's what I look at with West Ham. This club deserves to be run better. It needs to be looking better. It needs to have a ground that is like people can be proud of going. It hasn't got any of that in the minute. It really hasn't, and that's obviously due to the fact of David Sullivan. Levy is 100 times the chairman. Sully is he made the club super. Sadly, he did, mate. Sadly so. When you think about it, they have set us back years. Even when a new owner comes in, it's very true, Rich. Very, very true, mate. And that's why I said it the other week, and I got clipped up. I remember when I got clipped up by Spurs. They said, "Look at him, right, crying and all that." Yeah, because I'd done a video in the summer, and I sort of broke down on the video, and I turned around and said that my club's dying. Like I can see it like falling apart. Deep down, Sully is pulling us away bit at a time. Do you know what I'm saying? It's gonna take 10 years to repair this damage. Do you know what I'm saying? People have also said to me, like the gentleman said it to me the other day. He said, "Where was the protests and where was this anger when West Ham were doing well?" I said, "The anger's always been there, mate. Like, listen, people just don't just like shy away from it. I've been like this for years, but there's been so many people that have walked away from West Ham over a 5-year period. Do you know what I mean? I'd love to know the full statistics. I really would on basically who's walked away from West Ham over the last 5 years, or how the season tickets have gone over the last 10 years. If you could get them stats up, then it'd be unbelievable. Because I can guarantee you, there is thousands of people. It's probably over 30,000 people that walked away from West Ham being a season ticket holder. The amount of people that I've commented on my videos and said to me, I was a season ticket holder at West Ham, Upton Park. I've never been over the ground. I've been over the ground. I've done 2 years there. No. 3 years there. No. 1 year there. No. Even the geezer said to me, right, this is gospel truth, absolute gospel truth. He said, "Jay," he said, "I've done one game there. I went, fuck this." And he said, "I'm never doing that again." So that's bad, isn't it? You know what I'm saying? The fans at Upton Park, I won't be shocked if they have gone to clubs like Southend, Colchester, Concord Rangers, Canvey Island. Very, very true, mate. Very, very true. I know people that are going over Dagenham. Obviously, I drink in and around Dagenham when I can, and I know a lot of people, especially over Dagenham and Redbridge. A lot of people decide, nah, I'm not going over there. Do you know what I mean? They're adamant about that, and it's like, um, I just don't enjoy it. I don't enjoy it, and the problem is, it what it is. You have people's egos, right? Some people are like, well, you're not a real fan, or you're not a proper fan, and all that. Like, what define a proper fucking fan to me? Do you know what I mean? Because whether you've been supporting the club 60 years or I've been supporting the club 38 years of my life, like, we're all the same. You know what I'm saying? Is what it is. Shout out to Queen. Was a diehard at Upton. Now I go to every Colchester home game. So actually, that's fair enough, mate. Great name, also, right? Because Queen, if you go back and watch this video and go to James in the first caller that sort of called in late tonight, Queen was mentioned quite a lot. So when you go back and watch it, Queen, have a look and you will have a laugh, mate. But fair play to you. Do you know what I mean? I don't judge anyone who goes to lower league football, mate. One, it's affordable. Two, it's probably local for them. Three, you're not going to get taken the piss out of. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, for me, I think non-league football's great. You go there, like, where did I go the other week? It was like a bank holiday game. And I went to Hampton and Richmond with Dagenham and Redbridge. Right, as I say, I know a load of Dagenham people. Some of the boys are like West Ham fans who go to West Ham games and all. And we went to Hampton and Richmond. There's a fucking bar, like literally in the corner, in like a little shed. I was I was on the bevies, mate. I was like, this is fucking great. So, on nice hot August, I think it was, yeah, in August. So, loving life. Warren, I go back to the good times of 75 and 80s, winning the FA Cup. Believe me, those days will return when this mob is gone. West Ham is a sleeping giant. Completely agree. Have they got a beer garden? No, mate. They had a beer tent, though, Rich. A beer tent, mate. It was quite epic. Trust me. And was it £1.50 a shot, mate? You can't go wrong. It might have tasted like vinegar, but it was doing the damage to the nut. JWP, Hermanson, Kilman all should be benched, warming for the foreseeable. I'd rather start Igor than Kilman. That's what we've come. We're relying on fucking Frankenstein's fucking assistant. Yeah, I mean, to get us going. So, right, I've done an hour. Any questions? Right, I'm gonna leave it to you now. Final sort of 10 minutes of this stream tonight. I want you to put your questions in, anything you like. Yeah, obviously, anything within reason. So it's over to you now, and I will try and answer them as honestly as I can, because that's how I work. We need to be more a professional club at the mo. We're acting like a market traders. Completely agree. Completely agree. Right, James, would you go for Nuno? I probably would, mate. If I'm being honest, I really would. Managers don't really bother me. Like, if Slav comes in, I am gonna be a bit pissed off with that one. But if Nuno turns up, fine. Bellamy would be a great shout for me. People say, oh, he ain't gonna leave Wales, but if Wales in any sort of fucking competition, so are they going to qualify for the World Cup or the Euros or anything? I don't see it. Right. But yeah, I probably would accept him. What we got here? Bill and Ricky have a decent setup for a non-league game. Yeah, I know. And Brentwood Town and all. Right. Brentwood Town are doing some bits and all, mate. 100%. I see their setup and all. Very good. Right. Let's get to these comments. What what are the conditions under which you would be getting a season ticket again at the London Stadium? Just Sullivan leaving. I just think Sullivan needs to be at the door, mate, and all ties need to be 7 mark with him, because if he's in any control of that club, then I'm not there. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm not funding these birds' plastic surgery. I'm just not going to do it. I'm not funding it. These birds' new teeth, or I'm just not funding it. Do you know what I mean? No, what it was with me, the first year, I was like, no, I'm not going there because it was quite hard. Like to sort of, I wasn't happy with the move. Then I sort of see stuff, and this is just built up over a period of time. Like maybe I've got numb to the situation, but I will go back there. I would go back there, and it wouldn't bother me. But I don't want him in charge of there. Absolutely not. Uh, James ain't funding trips to Turkey. Fucking no chance, mate. I can't even afford a trip to fucking Bognor at the minute, mate. So there you go. Um, you should come to my local non-league team, Dulwich Hamlets. I think you'd be impressed. I know, mate. They're actually doing all right. That's southeast London, isn't it? Dulwich. Yeah. Let's get to West Ham. Hold on. Let's get to that one. Question, James. Would you want a rebuild of a new stadium on the existing London Stadium site or elsewhere? Good question. Whatever happens, it has to be in Newham. It has to be, right? You can't go to Essex. You can't go fucking further into London. It's going to have to be in the borough of Newham or Tower Hamlets to a point. Um, I would personally maybe. Oh, let's have a think. I would probably rebuild the London Stadium and restructure the London Stadium around. I think the London Stadium itself can be sort of built on, or you just flatten it and then rebuild it from up. But then where do you go? What do you play at Wembley? Do you play at Orient? Do you play at fucking like where'd you go? That's the problem. Um, but I'll probably rebuild the London Stadium and make it a football stadium, or and this is a big if, but Kadinsky is part of the Royal Mail. There's a West Ham post office depot that is at West Ham, and basically there was always talk years ago about West Ham building a stadium there because it's quite a big, fucking massive. Like anyone who goes down to West Ham at all, um, they see it. It's quite a big sort of unit. I'm not too sure if it's the Royal Mail now or it's something to do with Amazon or something like that. But if you bought the land of it, then that would be an opportunity. It'd cost a lot. It would cost a fucking hell of a lot of money though, like extreme amount of money, to do that. So it'd be either that. Then after that, I'm scrambling. Really, like you got Beckton, you got the back of Beckton. There's nowhere really where I can think of where there's major landmass for a capacity of what 50,000. I think that's what West Ham needs, 50,000 people. So I think 65 is a little bit too much, and you need to have transport links, and then the most important thing of all, people, yeah, I'd have to change the name of this fucking channel. It'd have to be like E14 or something. E14 Zone TV. Fuck me, mate. It'd be shit then, wouldn't it? Wanstead Flats. Yeah, that's true. Anywhere around there, mate. That's where it's gonna have to be. But yeah, good question, that one. Really was. Uh, James ain't paying for no plastic surgery. Fucking hell, mate. I think I need plastic surgery, mate. Let's see. E17 Zone TV. Fucking hell, mate. Yeah. Every time I wear the white, maybe I like look like Brian Harvey back in the day. Like you don't be like him now. He's like a crackhead, isn't he? So, you know. Um, would you? What's that there? Would we be able to get out of the rent contract if we wanted to build a stadium somewhere, a stadium elsewhere? No, I think we're locked in on that, mate. Unless we basically get the stadium and then we demolish it. But you know, I just think it's a mess. It's a mess. And do you know what does it with me? I'll say this quick: is they think they've done no fucking wrong. Like literally, that's the biggest blag I've ever heard in my fucking life. They literally think that everything they've done is fine. which, right, if you can't get to grips with what the fan base is trying to say to you, then you're never going to win. Do you know what I mean? It's always going to be a fight between you and the fan base every fucking single time. Mate, Sullivan is hoping people stay another day. Great song, mate. Mate, I remember that song at Christmas, right? I think it was about 9. Fucking 9 years old, mate, listening to it. Was E17, wasn't it? Not E17, but we've had fucking Queen on tonight. You know what I'm saying? Right, any more for any more? Maybe one little top of Rooney, and then that'll be me lot for tonight, I think. What we got here? Some of the Oscars. I'll get to Oscar in a minute. We're in a relegation zone. The form's been horrendous over a year. The stadium clears out every week. How the fuck can't they think that we're doing anything wrong? Completely agree, mate. Oscar is crazy how the board think that Slav, Nobes, and Ginge for managers is a good PR spin. They're on the ropes, mate. Simple as that. They're on the ropes, and they're trying to get the fan base back on side. That's what the problem is. They're losing. What it is, right? They're losing the fight with the fan base because the fan base are starting to see through their bollocks. And you know what? I don't blame anyone, right? I really don't. I see through their bollocks about 5 years ago. Yeah, it's about 5, 6 years ago. And I wasn't doing YouTube at the time. I was basically just watching the games and, having a fucking row with myself, basically, if anything. Like when the games are on, I wasn't watching the games. But about 5 years ago, you started to see the same patterns happening all the time. Like you go for a transfer target, you put a bid in, phantom bid, yeah, and then there'd be other things that be coming out, and it's just the bollocks, mate. And I've always said it on this channel. I've always stood by this quite vividly. Right? Is no other clubs run like us. No chance. No other club is run like this. Like no other club goes and gives a centre forward a pay as you play deal. No one does that. But West Ham do. You know what I'm saying? It's just like West Ham go and give a pay as you play deal to Callum Wilson. And you've known for years that Antonio was going to be out the door eventually at some point. It's madness, mate. Absolute madness. So, right, let's get to this one. What is the aerial space laws in London and around us? A bleep. I would love to see the BS bleep on live stream. I don't know, mate. Yeah, one final point from me. We want to break free of Sullivan. Are we doing a Queen tribute night tonight? Yeah. It's been quite a good video tonight, I must admit. And I was a bit two minds in doing these late ones because you never know how they're going to go. Right, let's get to that point from Marky Boy. Is Jaffa cakes a cake or a biscuit? Clues in the title, son. A Jaffa cake, little mini cake. So there you go. Right, West Ham 58. Let's go. I wonder if we could get drones to fly a banner saying Sullivan and Brady out. You could do, mate. Couldn't do it on match day though. That's the problem with the drone laws. And do you know what? Funny enough, I do watch a lot of these auditing videos. You can't fly over crowds and things like that. So there'd be no way you can get a drone up there on match days. Like it's just simply no chance. As soon as it goes up, someone will come confiscate it and nick the geezer straight away. So you got no chance of that. But it's the right idea. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, that's what it is. Right, what else we got? Let's have a look. Let's get to Darren's comment. Do you think the boycotts will affect the team? I think it's going to galvanise the team. Hopefully, whoever's in charge. The problem is, my fear is not the team at the minute. The manager's a problem. My fear is how long does Sullivan take before enough's enough? Like, and that is the problem because it's not right at the minute. Yeah, no one's really happy with Potter. Potter can't do fuck all right. We can't buy a win. We haven't looked convincing in 90 minutes. We've looked convincing in moments, but not in 90 minutes. I, the only thing that concerns me is you up these protests and boycotts and things like that. How long does Sullivan take before he says enough's enough? Right, because I don't think Sullivan's going to go easy. I think it's going to take him a while to get out the door, but I do think it's going to dent him though, like quite a lot. And obviously, we're going to see what his resolve's like. So but I hope not, mate. Thoughts on Potter calling a last resort sort of meeting yesterday. I think he knows he's done. Do you know what, mate? Yeah, but if he's done, like, just put him out of his fucking misery then. Do you know what I mean? Like, we do it every time. Like, we've done it with Lopetegui. Let's go back to January, right? January the 4th. Remember it clear as day. We played Man City. We lost 4-1 in Manchester. On the Monday, it was officially said that Julian Lopetegui sacked. He does not get officially sacked till the Thursday because there was no one else who could come in and take over and do the training sessions. It's like West Ham are just run like by a bunch of fucking Sunday League merchants. Do you know what I mean? Fucking Steve Bracknell would have a fucking great chance. Do you know what I'm saying? It's fucking madness, mate. It really is. Let's get to Keith's comment. A sit-in protest refused to leave the ground after full time. Police cannot arrest 30,000 people. Press would love it. Do you know what? I don't think that would do any damage though, mate, because the game's done. And what it is, the cameras will be just panned away. I think what does more of the damage is when everyone walks out after 60 minutes or 75 minutes, and it's like you clear the stadium out after 75 minutes, and then you go, but you haven't got to leave the stadium, but just leave the area where it is. Sitting in after, I don't think so. I think people just say, well, give them half hour, just chill out, right? Get everyone else out, and when they're ready to go, they just go. I don't think that's going to do a lot of the damage. The boycotts for me, the boycotts are the ones that are going to do the damage. If everyone sticks together and goes, right, I'm not going to go. Once I stand by this, once the brand starts getting it, then the money starts doing it. Do you know what I mean? I've got loads, mate. I've got AY audits. I think's a good one. DJ B. I think no, is it DJ B or DJ something audits? One of the auditor geezers from Bargain. I found that out the other day. So you know what? He goes around all the asylum hotels and sort of records them and like. Trust me, mate. The amount of stuff I've got up there now for learning, like through with law and video and in public places and all that. Like I said on the video the other day, I'm entitled to film in a public space. So obviously, when I was walking around Upton Park the other day, I was thinking to myself, if anyone comes up to me, says, "Oh, what you filming?" Like, because people get a bit paranoid. Like, obviously, you got a camera like that, you're walking around, you're filming something. You sort of learn quite like they're very good for educational purposes. I will say that these auditing videos, they do open you up to sort of other things, and you go from there. Graham Nice is on the ropes. I tell you what, oh mate, I watched that video back. Oh, DJE, yeah, Rich. I watched that video about fucking laughed my head off, mate. When Mark was going into the old sort of hysterics. I mean, I love quoting sections of the Public Order Act, mate. Do you know what though? I just wish he would be a bit more to the point. He drags it, mate. He drags like I'm like stand back, be cool, and then just say your bit, yeah. And he's like, he goes through the whole thing. I miss his former and current lover all at the same time. No, you're not, mate. That's his bird currently right now. Um, the Brentford game is the boycott. That's when we will have a new manager, Sullivan's way. Yeah, I completely agree, mate. But yeah, the auditing videos are very educational, mate. Trust me. Amount of stuff I've learned on that in regards of filming in public, um, being on like different lands, obviously civil action and things like that. So educational, mate. And you do it here quite a lot. AY sounds like a 50-year-old who smokes 50 a day. He is a I think, mate. No, he's about, yeah, he's got a bit of a past, mate. I must admit, from what I've sort of read, he has got a bit of a past. But it is what it is. Right, I think I'm gonna wrap it there. That is everyone. Let's get to this one from Keith Knight. Oscar, a protest outside Sully's, as long as it's peaceful and no trespassing, it's totally lawful. So crack on, mucker. Yeah, do that though, mate. But make sure he's fucking in. It would help. Do you know what I mean? Right. Amount of people keep saying to me, yeah, let's protest outside Sullivan's house. It's fucking no point if he ain't in. Do you know what I mean? He's got to be there. Jezza says, good night, mate. I will be leaving shortly, mate. I'm just going to go through his comments quick. A boycott against a Big Six team will make a bigger statement. Probably. It needs to be on TV, mate. Simple as that. It needs to be a TV game and go from there. So, Mitch, but listen, I'm going to put people out of their misery here, but Phil, right there, yeah. Phil literally has got a thing for Mitchell, right? Mitch has become a more responsible person since he's met his bird. I'm a very proud companion. I'm gonna be honest, Mitch has fucking changed, mate. Like changed for the better. He used to be erratic, that kid, and now he's a bit more chilled. And I think that's the bird doing it. It happens to all of us, mate. Do you know what I mean we all meet a bird? I've met my missus. Drives me fucking mad. But we won't speak about that. But listen, Mitch is doing all right. I will say that. Thanks for the content. New West Ham fan here from the States. After seeing them in the pitch this past spring at London Stadium. Keep up the great work. Nice one, man. Whiskey, bourbon, Bills, West Ham. All the things I like, mate. Whiskey, bourbon, pound notes and bills, cash, and West Ham. Shout out to you, mate. Hope you're well, wherever you are. James, even if it's not in, it shows how hated he is. Would you want to go home after that? No, he's probably got about 3 fucking houses, Keith. You don't want to go there, mate. Good night. All the best to your nan, James, and I hope all goes well. Thank you very much, mate. Right, that is it from me. My final thought is this. We just have to keep the faith. That's the first thing. One thing I don't want to see happen, right, is the fan base clashing with each other. It's the last thing we need, right? We need everyone on side, everyone doing their things, everyone pushing in the same direction and pushing it straight towards this ownership, this club. It will be better in time. It really will. And listen, I'm glad everything is sorted out now. I've got no ill feeling towards anyone. Everyone's doing their bit, and it's what I've been asking for ages. And everyone's sort of starting to sort of do exactly what I think was needed to be done in order to sort of, make us feel better about the situation. And it will get better. It will. Like I'm so calm, composed, and chilled on it, so I know it will work, and it is working currently right now because they're fucking rattled. Right, them lot are rattled big time, which is a joy to see. Also, thank you for all the comments about my nan. I really do appreciate it. It has been a bit of a sort of touch and go sort of last 24 hours. I found out about it sort of late last night, and yeah, it was a bit of a surreal sort of thing. But hopefully, over the next few days, we're going to know a bit more of what's really going on, and I hope that she'll be all right. I really do. So yeah. But listen, family's everything, man. Like, do you know what I mean? West Ham's just a team you love, team you support, but family's your life. And listen, at the end of the day, family's fucking everything. Without your family, you're nothing, really. You're not. And sometimes I need my family in my life, and I'm not ready to lose anyone anytime soon. I really am not. So yeah, I'll get to this final comment here from Keith, member of the channel. James, you're spot on, mate. This is our fight. us, the fans, to stay united. I completely agree, mate. I really do. Anyway, that's enough from me. Take care of yourselves out there, and I will see you again in the next one. Peace.